Good morning. Good morning. There you are. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. So we're done with a third of the month, done with a quarter of a month, a third of the month, heading to the half month over already. In just a few more days, the month will be half over. Well, here we are at Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help you, our students, and everyone else is welcome to our daily podcast. And the purpose of the podcast is fundamentally to help us best navigate through this life, this body, this soul enclosed in a body. We're not bodies that have souls, we're souls that have bodies. So this soul in this body navigating through this life on our way to the next place as best we possibly can to suffer fewer evils and more goods. Good morning, Diana. Good morning, What Not a Bevy. How are both of you today? In Fort Jacks and are you still in Portland? Diana, still in Portland? Okay, so our theme of today, I'm just going right down the vanilla line, week 3, day 2, 4 steps. So this is week 3 of our 4-week neuroscience-oriented approach to success, day 2 of week 3, and we talk about the 4 steps. What the heck is he talking about? What am I talking about, Diana? You've been doing this for about 5 years, 4 years. So let's get into that now. Advice from an 80-year-old: avoid sarcastic remarks. Why should you do that? What not a bevy? Why avoid sarcastic remarks? Why avoid sarcastic remarks? And what is day 2 of week 3? What the heck does that mean? What are the 4 steps? It's not nice or genuine. Correct. Truth is always an option. Correct. Well, it's a way of being mean, but putting humor behind it. If you're going to be mean, be mean. If you're not going to be mean, which you should not be mean, don't be sarcastic. Now, that gets trumped by something my grandpapa from Missouri would say, which is what? What's something my grandpapa from Missouri would say, Sophie? That would be your great-grandpappy. Sophie will be saying, my great-grandpappy from Missouri would say, must is, because must ain't don't sound right. No. My great-grandpappy from Missouri would say, it's blanker than a witch's patootie. Whatever it is, whatever you're feeling, it's that more than a witch's patootie. Okay. So don't be sarcastic is trumped by something my grandpapa from Missouri would say, which is, if you want to communicate with a jackass, you have to speak its language. So sometimes people who only speak in sarcasm, you need to speak sarcastically because that's all they can hear. All right, then. Now, what else we got on our hit parade before we get to our theme? Advice from an 80-year-old: avoid sarcastic remarks. Seth's blog noticed, it's a short one, there's a delay between the time something goes wrong and when we notice it. True. Sometimes it can take years, like climate change. part of the art of project management is noticing things more quickly. Okay. And it helps to acknowledge that by the time we notice something, it's probably too late to easily undo it, and our work involves ameliorating the damage instead. Aha. So, project management, notice things more quickly, fail faster. But as we said yesterday, it's not really failing. It's just learning another way that doesn't work, as Thomas Jefferson supposedly said when inventing the light bulb. We didn't fail, we just learned another way to not make the light bulb. Okay, what else we got on our hit parade? There's 4 good don'ts in daily stoicism. Like don't complain, don't talk about it, be about it. And 2 more. Let's see, Darren Hardy was pretty good today. So all good stuff. Leading us back to day 2, week 3, 4 steps. So yesterday we learned from David Logan, you want to get people to do what you want, join a tribe, nudge it forward. Today we learned from Seth Godin how to nudge forward. And there's 4 steps, and I'll do it the German way. There's 4 steps. Step 1 is what? Ooh. So you've joined this tribe, now you want to nudge it forward. So step 1 is to what? Find part of the status quo to change. Because how are you going to nudge something forward if you don't change anything, right? Well, just keep doing what you're doing, guys. That's not leading them. They're already. Okay, step 1, find part of the status quo to change. How do we do that? How do we find part of the status quo to change? Diana, or what, not a bevy? This is the easy part. Well, 1, we can what? Look around. What sucks around here? 2, we can ask people, hey, what sucks around here? What do you think needs to be changed? Now, oftentimes, people get put in positions of authority, not power, authority. And the first thing you want to do is change things, which is the right approach, right? If you want to lead, you got to get people to do things differently. However, they don't figure out what actually needs to be changed. They start changing things that don't need to be changed. Okay, so find part of the status quo to change. Could be the cancer, could be just something to improve upon. Okay, next, tell a compelling story. Next, connect the true believers, and as equally importantly, ignore the non-believers. We tend to argue with people who don't see it the way we see it. This is particularly true of women in housing together. I think it could be a genetic thing. They want to all agree. So when you find somebody that doesn't agree, you focus on them to try to get them to agree. Where in guys' houses, if they don't agree, the common thing for the other guys is, well, you're an idiot, but go ahead, it's your life. You're wrong, but I'm not going to argue with you. Go ahead, you're a man. It's your life. Do it. Do what you want. So find part of the status quo to change, tell a compelling story, connect the true believers, and ignore the non-true believers. This is exactly when Jesus told the disciples, go into the towns, find a house. If they accept you, stay there. If they don't, dust off your sandals and keep going. He did not say argue with them, debate with them. And I think that part of the problem, a lot of these Christians, is they want to argue. No, you're wrong. Universal salvation. No, baptism, you're wrong. Dust off your sandals and go to the next town. And I think, where does the arguing come from? It comes from, I want to show you that I study. I want to demonstrate that I know the Bible. I study. I have shown myself worthy. You know less than me. It's very hierarchical. I know more than you, so you need to listen to me, and I disagree with what you say. That's the pastor model in churches. The pastor knows more, and he needs to assert that he knows more. But it's about doing. Okay, so how do we connect the true believers? Well, we're going to see on Saturday and Sunday. It's really simple. The Jerry Maguire approach. What's the Jerry Maguire approach? Who knows the Jerry Maguire approach? Think of the two fishes. Jerry Maguire approach. Who's coming with me? Who's coming with me? Right. You got it. Want that to be. Who's coming with me? That's it. That's all you have to do to connect the true believers. You lay out the compelling story. Who's coming with me? And the people who are not coming with you, don't argue with them. Why? Couple reasons. One, people who are on the fence are now going to figure out, well, I want to get his reason why he's not going, because I don't really feel like jumping in right now. I'm looking for somebody to help me stay where I am. Or you could have somebody who jumped in on your side. Okay, I'm with you. I don't know why, but I am. And then you get into a debate with the other side, and they're just a better debater. So the person that's wearing your jersey changes jerseys. So you don't have anything to gain by that. There's more people out there who could believe your story than putting that amount of energy into changing one person's mind. But if you feel compelled to do it, you do it separately, out of hearing from the other people. Okay, and then the fourth step is lead them. Because it's not good enough to leave it at, who's coming with me? It's, okay, homie, let's go. And then you start. And then we'll learn on Friday from Derek Sivers about how those first followers then become leaders too. So that's what we get from Seth Godin today. Find part of the status quo to change. Okay, homie. Find part of the status quo to change. Tell a compelling story. Connect the true believers. Ignore the non-true believers. And lead them. What's the hardest part of those four? What needs to be spent more time talking about? What would you say? Which of those four steps do we talk about tomorrow? Diana, you should have it narrowed down to two, because two of them are obviously not that. So it's either this or that. So leading them, that's all next week. So we know it's not that. Find something to change. We know it's not that. That's so self-evident. We don't need to spend time talking about that. So, and what's your second guess, Diana? Okay. So it's not connecting the true believers, because that's pretty easy too. The question is for tomorrow is, how do we tell a compelling story, right? So Diana said both of the two that were left. So it's really, how do you tell a compelling story? How do you tell a compelling story? So we're going to learn that tomorrow from Simon Sinek, master storyteller. No, it's not to find out what they want. So Diana brings up a good point. It's not to find out what they want, because they might not know what they want. Maybe they only know what they don't want. And just because I don't want torture, it doesn't mean I know what I do want. Okay, because I stop shocking you, it doesn't mean your life is better. It just means you're not being shocked anymore. Your life could suck equally to how it did before the electric shock. And you shouldn't come out of there saying, wow, my life is now better. They stopped shocking me. My life is better. I don't have a place to live. I don't have food. I don't have a job. I don't have a future. I don't have hope, but it's better. No, you're just not being shocked. So, and that's the key thing, is people know what they don't want, but we often don't know what we do want. Tell a story on what emotion you want to create. Well, so we're going to learn on Thursday. So Diane is pointing out, on Thursday, we're going to learn that you have the story before the story. And notice that tomorrow with Simon Sinek. If you watch the Simon Sinek TED Talk, the Simon Sinek talk, I think it's a TED Talk, yeah. It's the second TED Talk. If you watch that, you will see that he starts with the story before the story. He tells the story before the story. That's to get the emotions going. I gotta go. The clinical director is asking to speak. Shiva Sin Shalom. Clinical director? What clinic? What? Okay, talk to you later. See you guys. Hasta la vista on the otro lado.